Hello, from Tax Nightmares Simplified right here. So there are a couple of deductions according to the US tax code on your personal federal tax return that you can choose to use or may be limited of using on the first place depending on your individual tax circumstances for the tax year. So those deductions are itemized deductions and standard deduction. The standard deduction is the one that every one of us gets by law based on their age and filing status. But the itemized deductions are actually additional actual expenses that you may be qualified to deduct if you actually incur those personal expenses during the year. Those expenses are mortgage interest, property taxes, real estate taxes, sales tax on big ticket items. It could also be gambling losses and donations. So all those theoretically are deductible. However, if you're doing your taxes at home with your tax preparation software, you may be actually misled what you're deducting because the software is asking questions and documenting your numbers. However, there are certain thresholds that apply to different deductions. And if you don't meet these thresholds, those deductions are never really taken, but you may be living under the impression that you took those deductions with your self-preparation software. I'll give you a few examples. So one of the examples is the donations. So when you make a donation, they tell you, donate, 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 you can deduct it on your taxes. Well, that's false. It may be true, but it shouldn't be presented to you that way because first of all, donations to GoFundMe, donations to a person, those are never deductible unless they are conducted by an approved donation organization by the IRS. So first of all, you have to donate to such organizations. Second of all, if you are not eligible to itemize deductions, then you're not going to take advantage of the donation. You cannot deduct it from your taxes because it's not going over your standard deduction. So another good example about that is the gambling losses. So the gambling losses goes on this itemized schedule, so you may be able to deduct the gambling losses. However, you must have gambling winnings. If you didn't have gambling winnings, no matter what you put in your software as losses, you're not deducting any losses. Also, if you're not eligible to itemize deductions because the total of your itemized deduction is not higher than your standard deduction, including the deduction you're claiming for gambling losses, you're not deducting any losses. For that sake, you're going with the standard deduction. So those are things that are very important and they're critical to understanding when filing your tax return, and hopefully your tax professional is explaining to you. However, if you're doing this at home on your own, you may be missing out on deductions. So talk to your tax pro.